Good morning. Iowa State University is pleased and honored to welcome the family and friends of our graduates to the University Commencement Ceremony here in Hilton Coliseum. Today's commencement ceremony recognizes recent graduates in Iowa State University's proud 163-year history of academic achievement, excellence, and service. The university is committed to the health, safety, and well-being of its students, faculty, staff, and visitors. We encourage all who are present here today to follow our Cyclone's Cares behaviors, including wearing a face covering. The processional will begin with our undergraduate graduates, followed by our master's graduates, and then our doctoral graduates. Members of the Assembly may remain seated during the processional. At this time, it is our privilege to present to you undergraduate graduates from the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, the Ivy College of Business, the College of Design, the College of Engineering, the College of Human Sciences, and the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences here at Iowa State University. At this time, it is our privilege to present to you master's and doctoral graduates from the Graduate College and doctoral graduates from the College of Veterinary Medicine at Iowa State University. Signaling the official beginning of our commencement ceremony, the University Mace, carried by Chief Faculty Marshal Dr. Robert Walls, precedes President Wendy Winterstein. We ask that graduates and the members of the Assembly to please rise if you are able to do so for the procession of the members of the Iowa State University academic community, led by President Dr. Wendy Winterstein. And now, the presentation of colors by the Army Reserve Officer Training Corps Color Guard. Iowa State University is pleased to introduce internationally acclaimed vocalist and F. Wendell Miller Distinguished Artist in Residence, Dr. Simon Estes, as the University Commencement Ceremony vocalist. Please rise if you're able to do so as Dr. Estes sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Graduates, family, and friends, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Wendy Winterstein, President of Iowa State University.
Good morning. I'm so pleased to welcome you to today's very special University Commencement Ceremony. At this time, I'd like to introduce the members of the platform party. Ask that they remain standing until all introductions are made. Mr. Charles Sukup, Chairman of the Board of Sukup Manufacturing Company, Professor of Practice at Iowa State University, and Commencement Speaker. Dr. Jonathan Wickard, Senior Vice President and Provost. Dr. Toya Younger, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Beata Schmidtman, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Dr. William Graves, Dean of the Graduate College. Dr. Dan Grooms, the Stephen G. Julesgaard Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine. Mr. David Spalding, David and Ellen Raisbeck, Endowed Dean of the Ivy College of Business. Dr. Laura Dunn-Jolly, Dean and Dean's Chair of the College of Human Sciences. Dr. Daniel Robeson, Endowed Dean of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Dr. Samuel Easterling, James L. and Catherine S. Melsa, Dean of the College of Engineering. Seda McGilligan, Associate Dean of Academic Programs in the College of Design and Professor of Industrial Design. Dr. Jeffrey Johnson, Laura and Russ Talbot, Endowed President and Chief Executive Officer of the Iowa State University Alumni Association. Dr. Simon Estes, F.W. Wendell Miller, Distinguished Artist in Resident and Commencement Vocalist. Dr. Jennifer Sukon, University Registrar. Ms. Sharon Evans, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. Dr. John Lawrence, Vice President for Extension and Outreach. Ms. Hilary Zao, Dean of Library Services. Dr. Andrea Wheeler, Associate Professor of Architecture and Faculty Senate President, and the faculty marshals for today's commencement ceremony. Please join me in recognizing all of them. Thank you. On behalf of our university leaders, faculty, and staff, we are delighted to welcome you to this very special commencement ceremony honoring Iowa State University's 2020 and spring 2021 graduates. Today we celebrate the culmination of years of hard work, focused study, and personal growth. We also recognize the resilience and determination shown by this very special group of graduates. You persevered through incredible challenges over the past year and a half, demonstrating the extraordinary strength of your cyclone spirit. While it has been many months since you completed your coursework at Iowa State University, we are so glad that you could come back to campus to officially mark this very important milestone in your lives. Thank you for being here so that we may celebrate you and that all of you and recognize all that you have accomplished. Graduates, you are part of a very special group of people who are holders of degrees from this renowned institution. We are so proud of you. We know you will continue to bring great pride to Iowa State University. Congratulations to all of you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker for today's commencement ceremony. Charles Sukup served as president and CEO of Sukup Manufacturing Company for 25 years before transitioning to chairman in 2020. Founded in 1963 in Sheffield, Iowa, Sukup Manufacturing Company is the largest family-owned and operated grain drying and storage manufacturing company in the world. Charles is a two-time alumnus of Iowa State University, earning a bachelor's and master's degree in agricultural engineering. He is a licensed professional engineer and active in numerous national and state industry, agricultural, and engineering organizations. He served as chair of the Iowa Association of Business and Industry and president of the American Society of Agricultural and Biological Engineers. Of his many awards and recognitions, he was recently elected to the National Academy of Engineering. He also serves as professor of practice at Iowa State University. He is the only person to have received both the Anson Marston Medal and the George Washington Carver Distinguished Service Award from Iowa State. Charles and his wife Mary who is also a graduate of Iowa State, have 3 adult children. The couple make their home on a farm near Doherty, Iowa. Please join me in welcoming Charles Suka.
Thank you, President Winterstein. Graduates, family and friends, Dr. Estes, and distinguished platform guests. 2020, a year that will go down in, well, let's just say it was an unforgettable, tumultuous year. A year when you learned to make lemonade out of the lemons that were thrown at you. I understand that Iowa State is one of only a few universities that promised and delivered on having an in-person celebration for the class of 2020. And I applaud you. And I applaud you for taking the time and expense to come back to join this celebration today. You earned it. When I asked a friend what I should say, his advice was, be short and funny. Unfortunately for you, I am neither. I told my daughter that maybe I could tell a few millennial jokes. That always irks her. I could feel her eyes rolling over the phone as she said, Dad, these are not millennials. And frankly, they'd probably enjoy them. Fortunately, I will spare you. When I got the surprising call to be your speaker, my first thought back was to my graduation 45 years ago in this very building. The thing I remembered most was President Parks congratulating the class of 1976 and then recognizing those with honors, but his last and heartiest congratulations went to those that were just squeaking through. Lesson 1, perseverance. Hang tough. Even though Iowa State was much smaller then, we did not walk across the stands, shake hands with the president, and receive our diploma. Instead, graduates of each college were asked to stand as a group. The president conferred our bachelor's degree upon us, and we sat down. Later, we picked up our diploma at the back of C.Y. Stevens. I had heard that they were busy pulling diplomas until the time of the ceremony from students who had failed their last exam. Ouch. Maybe Dr. Parks's congratulations were a little premature. I am glad for the personal touch in recent years of presenting your diploma on stage. I encourage you to celebrate this day to the fullest. This is a time to look back and give thanks to those who helped get you here. We all stand on the shoulders of those who prepared the road for us. The education that you received at Iowa State did not come by accident, but through the efforts of many who sacrificed over the years. Give a hug and extra thanks to your parents, mentors, faculty, and supporters. Parents, we celebrate with you on this special occasion. Your hearts must be overflowing. Lesson 2, give thanks. Have an attitude of gratitude. When I came from the farm to Iowa State, our small manufacturing company was 9 years old. I guess Dad thought it would be cheaper to raise an engineer than hire one. Not quite sure how that worked out. I can remember as clearly as yesterday something the HR of Halstead House in Helzer Hall told me. In what I thought at the time was a rather pompous cliche. By the way, HR stood for head resident, which during my time changed to RA, resident assistant, and now I understand is sometimes called CA, a community advisor. A nice trend of democratization over time. Smoking his pipe that he used to project authority, my HR said, "Charles, you won't believe how fast your 4 years will go here. It'll be over in a blink of an eye." And now it is nearly 50 years later for me. Lesson 3, time marches on. Seize the opportunities that come your way. You may not realize it, but coming back today was a trap, because I have one more test for you. So let's get started. There's only been one Iowa State president that received their bachelor's degree here. What state was that person from? Okay? Any guesses? The obvious answer is Iowa. Of course, but as you have doubtedly learned through your exams, the obvious answer is often not the right one. The correct answer, North Carolina. There also is one Iowa State president that did not have a high school diploma. Who is it? Well, let's do a little checking. President Winterstein, do you have a high school diploma? Whew, good. Well, here's a hint. We are now in the building that is named for him. James Hilton. He had a tough life growing up in North Carolina, and money was always tight. Due to financial pressures, he never received a diploma, though he went to high school. Jimmy Hilton, as he was known, started college at North Carolina State in animal husbandry, but soon heard good things about Iowa State and applied here. So at the beginning of his sophomore year, he packed up his few items, took the train to Ames, and found an apartment. He eagerly went to the registrar's office to enroll, where he had a little surprise. He discovered that his application had been rejected. His grades were poor. North Carolina State was not accredited at that time, and of course, no high school diploma. But his new landlady was friends with someone in the registrar's office, and somehow things got worked out. Just an observation, it's the support staff who make things run smoothly in an organization. How you treat those that don't have fancy titles will benefit you and is a sign of your character. From this difficult start, and with a lot of diligence, Hilton eventually became a transformational president from 1953 to 1965. Iowa State grew tremendously to become a university in name as well as substance. He also had the idea and dream for the Iowa State Center. You know, C.Y. Stevens, Fisher, Sheeman, this Coliseum. These came later and transformed Iowa State. Remember lesson 1? Perseverance. Speaking of perseverance, I'm curious, how many of you are the first of your family to graduate with a bachelor's degree? Please raise your hands high. That is great to see so many. I remember being the first in my family and came away with a wonderful feeling that I received as much personal care from this university as I did from my high school of Sheffield Chapin with a class of 45. I hope that you feel the same way about your time at Iowa State. One of the people I got introduced to here was Johann Sebastian Bach. Yes, I know, he had been dead for over 200 years. Although Bach was known best during his life for being a great organist, he is now often considered the world's greatest composer. We know of 1,128 of his compositions. His Mass in B minor, which some think is the world's greatest musical work, was never performed in its entirety until 100 years after his death. He didn't crave approval for those around him. He kept honing his skill for a higher purpose, signing each composition with Soli Deo Gloria, glory to God alone. When he was hired by the city of Leipzig, Germany, to be director of music for the Lutheran churches there, one councilman complained that they had to settle for their third choice. But it is Bach's statue that now stands in front of the Thomaskirche there. This brings me to lesson 4, strive to excel. One of my favorite Bach cantatas is Ich habe genug. For those of you who don't speak German, it means I have enough. It is the story of old Simeon seeing the Christ child in the temple and responding that his life is now complete. It is a question we should ask ourselves. When do we have enough? Not that our life is finished, but how are we using it to serve others? Bach's greatness was not because he tried to please others, but that he served something bigger than himself. My wife Mary and I had the opportunity to visit with Coach Matt Campbell this past year. Most people want to talk football with him, not Mary. They shared a lively discussion about the books that he uses to develop his players, and I'll be sharing some of those ideas with you, since unfortunately you are stuck with me rather than him. How we look at our problems comes down to perception, action, will. Perception is in our control. Problems are rarely as bad as we think they are, or rather, they are precisely as bad as we think they are. As Ryan Holiday says in The Obstacle is the Way, perceptions can be managed. Actions can be directed. What we can't do is control the world around us, at least not as much as we'd like to do. It is much easier to control our perceptions and emotions than it is to give up our desire to control other people and events. A point that 2020 drove home all too well. Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right." Look for the opportunity in the obstacles facing you. Have faith in yourself and in others. We all must decide whether we are here by accident or if there is a greater power that has placed us here for a purpose. Take time for your spiritual life. Prayer is powerful. Lesson 5, have faith. Some think there is a tension between faith and skill. In my opinion, we need both. In 2009, a passenger airplane hit a flock of geese, was disabled, and had to be ditched in the Hudson River. When Captain Sullenberger was asked if he was praying at the time, he said, "No, I knew there were plenty of people behind me doing that. I concentrated on doing the job that I had been trained to do." strive for excellence, and have faith. There's a saying in Haiti, behind mountains are more mountains. The more you accomplish, the more that will stand in your way. It's been said that God laughs when you say we have a plan. Your plan and the way things turn out rarely resemble each other. What you think you deserve is rarely what you'll get. Remember last year? Sometimes the only response is, this will be rough, but we will be okay. We don't get to choose what happens to us, but we can always choose how we feel about it. Be grateful for the good. I'm so pleased that Simon Estes is sharing his talents with us today. He is famous worldwide, overcame great obstacles, and is a kind and gentle soul. His faith and forgiveness is a wonderful example to all of us. Also, I'm so glad that we will be closing commencement today by singing The Bells of Iowa State. I will never forget playing it for the first time in marching band. It was so impressive to me then, and it's become even more so. When I was a student, one of the joys, as well as a relief from calculus and chemistry, was taking pipe organ lessons here from two outstanding professors. This opened a whole new world to me. Back then, Iowa State had nothing for pipe organs, and all practicing was done at local churches. One day, after reading how another college was getting a new organ, I was particularly depressed and complained about it. I'll never forget what Dr. Martha Foltz said. "Oh, Charles, we are so fortunate that we have nothing. We can build something great here. We could be saddled with a poor organ like they will be for decades. Instead, we can build the best." And you know what? Under Dr. Lynn Ziegler, we did just that. And now Iowa State has one of the finest organs in the Midwest. Sometimes starting from nothing can be the best opportunity. And while you are not starting from nothing, you are starting. So I would be remiss if I did not end this by giving the classic "follow your passion" speech. Except, I recently read a book by Cal Newport that argues this is a fallacy. He says that in order to be fulfilled, you need to excel at what you do. Skill trumps passion in finding work that you love. Be excellent in something, and your passion will follow, not the other way around. Now, many may disagree with this argument, and that is fine, but if J.S. Bach and President Hilton have taught us anything, the important lesson is not which comes first, but that you do good and do it well. Many of you have been in the workforce for over a year now, and at one of the most challenging times in our history. Given the current environment, this is a moment for you to start your careers and make an impact solving society's challenges. No, it may not be your passion right now, but every career has a purpose and the opportunity to better the world. Seek those opportunities and take advantage of the experiences to learn. Persevere. Give thanks. Seize the opportunities that come your way. Strive to excel. Be of service, and always have faith. Congratulations, class of 2020. You are survivors. Go forth and be a blessing to those around you.
Charles, thank you for those life lessons, for that history quiz, and for that inspirational closing. It's such an honor to have you with us today. Another round of applause for Charles Suka. We will now hear from Dr. Simon Estes, our commencement vocalist, and then from our student brass ensemble under the direction of Dr. Michael Galimo.
Must know something, but he don't say nothing. He just keeps rolling. He keeps on rolling along. He don't plant taters, and he don't plant cotton, and them that plants him is soon forgotten. But old man River, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Tote that barge and lift that bale. Get a little drunk and you'll land in jail. I get so weary and sick of trying. Lord, I'm tired of living and scared.
President Winterstein will begin the recognition of graduates, followed by the presentation of degrees.
But first, another round of applause for Dr. Simon Estes and the brass ensemble. At this time, I call upon Senior Vice President and Provost, Dr. Jonathan Wicker, to recognize those students graduating with distinction and all with military service.
Good morning. At this time, I would like to recognize the graduate students who are receiving Teaching Excellence Awards and Research Excellence Awards. Students receiving these awards today are being recognized for their outstanding teaching or for their exceptional research accomplishments in a graduate program, and they are wearing cardinal and gold honor cords. Will these students please rise? I offer you sincere congratulations on behalf of the faculty. Thank you for your excellent contributions during your graduate studies. I would now like to recognize the students who are graduating with distinction. At Iowa State University, grade point averages are based on a 4.0 scale. And in addition to the notation in the commencement program, this recognition also appears on the official transcript and university diploma. Those students graduating summa cum laude, or with highest distinction, have earned a grade point average of 3.90 or higher, and they are wearing cardinal and gold honor cords. Will these students of highest distinction please rise so we can recognize you? Please be seated. Those students who are graduating magna cum laude, or with great distinction, have earned a grade point average of 3.70 to 3.89, and they are wearing gold honor cords. Will these students of great distinction please rise? Please be seated. And those students graduating cum laude, or with distinction, have earned a grade point average of 3.50 to 3.69, and they are wearing cardinal honor cords. Will these students of distinction please rise? Please be seated. Well, great job to everybody, and I offer you sincere congratulations on behalf of our faculty. Finally, I would like to recognize all those in attendance today, graduates and audience and family members alike, who have served, who are serving, or who will be serving our country in the military. We are deeply grateful for your commitment. Would those individuals please rise as you are able so that we may recognize you for your service? Thank you.
Dr. Wickert, I now call upon you for the conferring of degrees.
We shall now proceed with conferring degrees, and we will begin with the Doctor of Philosophy, the highest degree that Iowa State University confers. The Dean of the Graduate College will next ask the doctoral candidates to stand and will present them to President Winterstein. After the President formally awards these degrees, the graduates will then be seated. A faculty marshal will dismiss students to come to the stage and be recognized. During the hooding ceremony today, the degree recipients will be escorted and hooded by their major professors, who have worked with them throughout their years of study for the doctoral degree. These hoods connect the graduate with a family of scholars throughout history, from all parts of the world, and with this great university. Now, Dr. William Graves, Dean of the Graduate College, will present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy from the Graduate College.
Candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy, please rise if you are able to do so. The Doctor of Philosophy is the university's highest academic degree, awarded only to those who have successfully completed an intensive and demanding course of study whose primary focus is on learning to conduct original research. The final stage of the program is the preparation and defense of a dissertation that describes the outcome of a major research project. To prepare for that project, the student must have gained expertise and skills in a particular discipline and must have thoroughly explored its existing knowledge base. Those who receive doctorates today have therefore demonstrated that they are truly experts in their fields whose research has already contributed significantly to human knowledge. The hood they assume symbolizes their admission to the exclusive ranks of those who have earned the respect associated with the title Doctor of Philosophy. President Winterstein, these candidates have completed all required courses, demonstrated their ability in research, and passed all examinations. They are recommended by the graduate faculty and the Faculty Senate and are approved by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, for the degree Doctor of Philosophy.
In recognition of the satisfactory completion of your respective programs in the Graduate College and by the authority delegated to me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with its accompanying rights, privileges, and obligations. The hood with which you will be invested shall forever be the testimony of your high academic rank. Congratulations.
PhD graduates, you may now be seated. The faculty marshals will dismiss you by row to approach the stage. Faize Akavizidagan, anticipated fall 2021 graduate, major in industrial engineering, presented by Dr. Liz-Hee Wang.
Ali Navi, fall 2019 graduate, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Charles T. Jarin.
Shavad Ansarifar, summer 2021 graduate, major in industrial engineering, presented by Dr. Liz-Hee Wang.
Amir Hosseini, May 2020 graduate, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Omar Smadi.
Princess Tiffany Dantes Mendoza, summer 2020 graduate, major in agricultural and biosystems engineering, presented by Dr. Charles R. Herberg.
Bahar Bazargani, summer 2020 graduate, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Omar Smadi.
Priyanka Gupta, summer 2021 graduate, major in industrial and agricultural technology, presented by Dr. Charles R. Herberg.
Miriam Nikuai Mer, spring 2020 graduate, major in industrial engineering, presented by Dr. Stephen Gilbert.
Andrew Zaman, summer 2020 graduate, majors in kinesiology and psychology, presented by Dr. Elizabeth Stegemoller.
Xiaodan Liu, Summer 2020 graduate, major in statistics, presented by Dr. Heike Hoffman.
Patricia Isbicki, Spring 2020 graduate, major in neuroscience, presented by Dr. Elizabeth Stegemoller.
Matthew Gardner, Spring 2020 graduate, major in computer science, presented by Dr. Yanbing Jia.
Sumak Elisa Cardenas Oleas, Fall 2020 graduate, majors in sustainable agriculture and sociology, presented by Dr. Carmen M. Bain and Dr. Anne-Marie Oberhauser.
Darmin Rokad, Spring 2020 graduate, major in toxicology, presented by Dr. Michael John Kimber.
Michael Robert Ward, Fall 2020 graduate, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Christina Poliakovsky.
Lauren Ashley Malone, Spring 2020 graduate, major in rhetoric and professional communication, presented by Dr. Novotny Lawrence.
Amin Rostami, Summer 2020 graduate, major in business and technology, presented by Dr. Raj Shankar Agnihotri.
Ivana Raymond, anticipated Fall 2021 graduate, major in applied linguistics and technology, presented by Dr. John Michael Levis.
Sajjad Sadbati, Summer 2020 graduate, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Jeremy Curtis Ashlock.
Switab Patel, Spring 2020 graduate, major in crop production and physiology, presented by Dr. Kenneth J. Moore.
Lucy A. Alus, Summer 2021 graduate, major in mechanical engineering, presented by Dr. Xianglan Bai.
Melissa Lynn Thompson, Fall 2020 graduate, major in apparel merchandising and design, presented by Dr. Linda S. Neem.
Wayne Durkis, Spring 2020 graduate, major in rural agricultural, technological, and environmental history, presented by Dr. Jeff Robert Bremer.
Carl Albert Frame, Summer 2020 graduate, majors in meat science and animal science, presented by Dr. Elizabeth J. Huff Lonergan.
Zachary Thomas Reinhardt, Fall 2020 graduate, major in mechanical engineering, presented by Dr. Kenneth Bryden.
Haley Marie Banwart, Summer 2020 graduate, major in agricultural education, presented by Dr. Shuyang Chu.
Natalie Sarah Thompson, Summer 2020 graduate, majors in geology and environmental science, presented by Dr. Beth E. Casey.
Kevin Timothy Mason, Spring 2020 graduate, major in rural agricultural technological and environmental history, presented by Dr. Pamela Riney Kerberg.
Olawafemi Richard Oyeliki, Summer 2020 graduate, major in computer science, presented by Dr. Carl Kochao Chang.
Samantha Jo Cosgrove, Summer 2020 graduate, majors in rhetoric and professional communication and human-computer interaction, presented by Dr. Jeffrey F. K. Sauer.
James Klimovitz, Summer 2020 graduate, majors in toxicology and organic chemistry, presented by Dr. Joel R. Coates.
Shuo Tang, Spring 2020 graduate, major in nuclear physics, presented by Dr. James P. Very.
Ashish Jain, Fall 2020 graduate, major in bioinformatics and computational biology, presented by Dr. Karen Dorman.
Lily Amelia Matheson, Summer 2020 graduate, major in psychology, presented by Dr. Nathaniel G. Wade.
Stephanie Reinders, Summer 2020 graduate, majors in Applied Mathematics and Computer Engineering, presented by Dr. Yong Guan.
Zara Davoudi, Fall 2020 graduate, major in Chemical Engineering, presented by Dr. Michael Wannemuller.
Erin Dieters, Spring 2020 graduate, major in Animal Science, presented by Dr. Stephanie L. Hansen.
Haoqin Zhou, Spring 2020 graduate, major in Food Science and Technology, presented by Dr. Jiyu Wen.
Jack Polivka, Summer 2021 graduate, major in Human-Computer Interaction, presented by Dr. Thomas Holm.
Irvin Pinto, Spring 2020 graduate, major in Civil Engineering, presented by Dr. Ashley F. Buss.
Mong Lee, Summer 2020 graduate, major in Mechanical Engineering, presented by Dr. Chao Hu.
Dao Yan Lim, Spring 2021 graduate, major in Mechanical Engineering, presented by Dr. Greg Lucky.
Ellie Lynn Fott, Summer 2020 graduate, major in Physical Chemistry, presented by Dr. Teresa L. Windus.
Alexia Shante Angton, Fall 2020 graduate, major in Sociology, presented by Dr. Matthew J. DeLisi.
Nazita Tagabi, Spring 2020 graduate, major in Mechanical Engineering, presented by Dr. Greg Lewicki.
Thomas L. Schultz, May 2020 graduate, major in Education, presented by Denise Schmidt-Crawford.
Ton Nguyen, Spring 2020 graduate, major in Electrical Engineering, presented by Dr. Chin-Mei Hedge and Dr. Raymond Wong. Lan Miao He, 2020 May graduate, major in Psychology, presented by Dr. Douglas Gentile. Guillermo Laguno, Spring 2020 graduate, major in Mechanical Engineering, presented by Professor Surabh Bhattacharya.
In recognition of the satisfactory completion of your respective programs in the Graduate College and by the authority delegated to me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy with its accompanying rights, privileges, and obligation.
And my congratulations to all of our PhD graduates. We are so proud of you and all of your accomplishments. Another round of applause for the doctoral recipients. We shall now proceed with the conferring of the Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degrees. The Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine will ask the candidates to stand and will present them to President Winterstein. After the President formally awards the degrees, the graduates will be seated, and a faculty marshal will dismiss students to come to the stage and be recognized. During this hooding ceremony, the degree recipients will be hooded by the college's dean. And following the hooding ceremony, the graduates will take the veterinarian's oath. Now, Dr. Dan Grooms, Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine, will present the graduates for the degree Doctor of Veterinary Medicine.
Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, please rise. President Winterstein, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Veterinary Medicine and have been recommended by the college faculty, and they are approved by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, for the degree Doctor of Veterinary Medicine.
In recognition of the satisfactory completion of your studies in the College of Veterinary Medicine and by the authority delegated to me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Veterinary Medicine with its accompanying rights, privileges, and obligations. The hood with which you will be invested shall forever be the testimony of your high academic rank. Congratulations.
Alyssa Michael Cote, Spring 2020 graduate, escorted by Dr. Amanda Fales Williams, presented by Dr. Daniel L. Grooms. Kelsey Fanslau Smith, Spring 2020 graduate, escorted by Dr. Amanda Fales Williams, presented by Dr. Daniel L. Grooms.
It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to be with you today. The doctors of the class of 2020, I look forward to witnessing the positive impact that you make on both animal and public health as you continue in this wonderful and proud profession. The oath that you are about to take was originally adopted by the American Veterinary Medical Association in 1954 and later put into place in 1969. It has been administered to veterinarians across the United States ever since, and it speaks to the sacred promise we make to society to care for the well-being of animals and humans. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Amanda Fales Williams, Chairperson of the Department of Veterinary Pathology and past President of the Iowa Veterinary Medical Association, to lead you in reciting the veterinary oath.
Thank you. Ready? Being admitted to the profession of veterinary medicine.
Being admitted to the profession of veterinary medicine.
I solemnly swear.
I solemnly swear.
To use my scientific knowledge and skills.
To use my scientific knowledge and skills.
For the benefit of society.
For the benefit of society.
Through the protection of animal health and welfare.
Through the protection of animal health and welfare.
The prevention and relief of animal suffering.
The prevention and relief of animal suffering.
The conservation of animal resources.
The conservation of animal resources.
The promotion of public health.
The promotion of public health.
And the advancement of medical knowledge.
And the advancement of medical knowledge.
I will practice my profession conscientiously.
I will practice my profession conscientiously.
With dignity.
With dignity.
And in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics.
And in keeping with the principles of veterinary medical ethics.
I accept as a lifelong obligation.
I accept as a lifelong obligation.
The continual improvement of my professional knowledge and competence.
The continual improvement of my professional knowledge and
competence. Congratulations.
Well, to our two newest DVM graduates, congratulations on your significant achievement. What a delight it was to witness you take the veterinarian's oath. Another round of applause for our two new graduates. And we shall now proceed with the conferring of the master's degrees. The Dean of the Graduate College will ask the candidates to stand and will present them to President Winterstein. After the President formally awards the master's degrees, the graduates will then be seated. and a faculty marshal will dismiss students to come to the stage and be recognized. Dr. William Graves, Dean of the Graduate College, will now present the candidates for master's degrees from the Graduate College.
Candidates for master's degrees, please rise if you are able to do so. The master's degree is awarded to those who have successfully completed an intensive course of study in a particular discipline. Reflecting the diversity of ways in which advanced knowledge and skills can be obtained, the university awards a variety of master's degrees with specific names and expectations. In many fields, a master's degree represents the highest academic achievement, and degree holders are accorded full recognition as practitioners of its art. The master's degree often involves research and the preparation of a thesis or a creative component that demonstrates an ability to conduct original inquiry. All of those who receive their degrees today have demonstrated a dedication to learning and to enhancing their abilities to contribute to society. Their degrees demonstrate that they have truly mastered a complex and demanding body of knowledge. President Winterstein, these candidates have completed the requirements prescribed by their respective degree programs. They are recommended by the graduate faculty, the Faculty Senate, and are approved by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, for their master's degrees.
In recognition of a satisfactory completion of your respective programs in the Graduate College and by the authority delegated to me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer upon you the master's degree with its accompanying rights, privileges, and obligations. This accomplishment shall forever be a testimony of your academic achievement. Congratulations.
Justin Dwayne Sampson, Fall 2020 graduate, major in education.
Fall 2020 graduate, major in accounting.
Caitlin Marie Trom, Spring 2020 graduate, major in education.
Rod Hutt, Spring 2020 graduate, major in business analytics.
Brianna Jean Kixmiller, Spring 2020 graduate, major in education.
Ludmila Scott, Fall 2020 graduate, major in
graduate,
Summer 2020 graduate, major in education.
Fernando Mari Marcos, Spring 2020 graduate, major in plant pathology.
Tyler Etchrim, Summer 2020 graduate, major in mechanical engineering.
Bailey Rose Warwick, Fall 2020 graduate, major in family and consumer sciences.
Saurabh Sanjay Ekar, Fall 2020 graduate, major in mechanical engineering.
Fravia Konakanchi, Fall 2020 graduate, major in biomedical sciences.
Christine Nelson, Spring 2020 graduate, major in engineering management.
Lucy Ta, Spring 2020 graduate, major in professional practice in dietetics.
Aaron Michael Staker, Summer 2020 graduate, major in human-computer interaction.
Angelica Medina, Spring 2020 graduate, major in professional practice in dietetics.
Mohammed Ahmed, Summer 2021 graduate, major in information systems.
Prabhakaran Pichiakuti, Fall 2020 graduate, major in electrical engineering.
Annabelle Lolinko, Spring 2020 graduate, major in physical chemistry.
Shamika Prashant Pujari, Spring 2021 graduate, major in industrial engineering.
Aubrey Neal, Summer 2020 graduate, major in professional practice in dietetics.
Mayura Shivaji Patil, Summer 2020 graduate, major in mechanical engineering.
Lauren Elizabeth Zust, Summer 2021 graduate, major in professional practice in dietetics.
Chen Chin Yu, Summer 2021 graduate in apparel, merchandising, and design.
Hanan Nadim, Summer 2020 graduate, major in mechanical engineering.
Satya Prakash, Summer 2020 graduate, major in computer engineering.
Fatih Mazen Alshare, Fall 2020 graduate, major in civil engineering.
Chandar Bhusan Gupta, Summer 2020 graduate, major in computer engineering.
Another round of applause for our master's graduates. We shall now proceed with conferring the undergraduate degrees. Will all the candidates for the bachelor's degree please rise? President Winterstein, these candidates have successfully completed their prescribed curricula in their respective colleges. They have been recommended by the college faculty and by the Faculty Senate, and they are approved by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, for the bachelor's degree.
In recognition of the satisfactory completion of your studies in your respective colleges and by the authority delegated to me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer upon you your bachelor's degree. As is tradition, I now ask all bachelor's degree recipients to move the tassels from the right side to the left side of their caps. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated.
Dean Beata Schmidtmann from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences will now offer a few words on behalf of the Council of Deans to our newest graduates.
Thank you, Provost Wickert and President Winterstein. First, I'm honored to say, on behalf of all the deans from our undergraduate colleges, congratulations on your achievements at Iowa State University. Your academic journey prepared you for many things. Your coursework introduced technical knowledge and new ideas. Many of you found new intellectual interests, and many of you also expanded your ability to lead, to engage with other cultures, and to impact your communities. Your experience as a student widened your perspective, added dimensions to your knowledge, and deepened your curiosity. And now you are sharing your knowledge and experiences with the world. As scientists, artists, teachers, engineers, entrepreneurs, communicators, growers, builders, and healers, or in other roles that help connect, inspire, and innovate our world. We are proud of the impact you made while on campus, especially during a time of unique challenges. We hope that throughout your life, you continue learning, exploring, and creating. Because the world needs more Cyclone spirit, we can't wait to see what you will achieve in the future. Congratulations, graduates.
Joshua Johnson, Fall 2020 graduate.
Bruce Truong, Spring 2020 graduate.
Matthew Allen Gonzalez, Spring 2020 graduate.
Michaela Dockweiler-Ross, Spring 2020 graduate.
Brian Gonzalez, Spring 2020 graduate.
Mitchell Knopf, Fall 2020 graduate.
Derek Jacob Theda, Spring 2020 graduate.
Haley Collins, Fall 2020 graduate.
Chase Kaltbed, Spring 2020 graduate.
Raven Sky Haller, Spring 2020 graduate.
Tracy Kenneth Harmon, Fall 2020 graduate.
Maceo Maurice Jackson, Spring 2020 graduate.
Grant Davis, Spring 2020 graduate.
Margarita Clemente, Spring 2020 graduate.
Jade Carrington Gerlitz, Spring 2020 graduate.
Joseph Hunter Critchell, Fall 2020 graduate.
Abby Nicole Johnson, Summer 2021 graduate.
Rachel Marie Leininger, Spring 2020 graduate. Kyle Sander Platt, Spring 2020 graduate.
Morgan Funk, Fall 2020 graduate.
Courtney Nicole Bush, Spring 2020 graduate.
Jordan Robert Fox, Fall 2020 graduate.
Shelby Sage Bully, Fall 2020 graduate.
Allison Elizabeth Blake, Summer 2020 graduate.
Matthew Stephen Gagliano, Spring 2020 graduate.
Rachel Frido, Summer 2021 graduate.
Tom Clyde Kent Cole, Fall 2020 graduate.
Tom Yan Su, Fall 2020 graduate.
Elijah Bowman, Fall 2020 graduate.
Lauren Parker, Spring 2020 graduate.
John Van Erdewick, Spring 2020 graduate.
Ryan Wilson,
Kyle Fink, Fall 2020 graduate.
Samantha Henning, Spring 2020 graduate.
Dylan Patrick Goggin, Spring 2020 graduate.
Susan Michelle Kester Craig, Spring 2020 graduate.
Allison Nicole Brost, Spring 2020 graduate.
Catherine Gruman, Fall 2020 graduate.
Thomas Allen Hagenow, Fall 2020 graduate.
Riak Dior, Summer 2020 graduate.
Michelle Diane Dietrich, Spring 2020 graduate.
Erin Catherine Recupero, Spring 2020 graduate.
Anna Wenk, Spring 2020 graduate.
Robin Gilland, Summer 2020 graduate.
Christine Marie Schmitz, Fall 2020 graduate.
Catherine Rant, Spring 2020 graduate.
Emily Aderman, Spring 2020 graduate.
Emily Nicole Redden, Spring 2020 graduate.
Tanner Dean Burton, Fall 2020 graduate.
Joshua William Grant, Spring 2020 graduate.
Hayden Dilly, Fall 2020 graduate.
Alexandrina Brooke Suglia, Spring 2020 graduate.
Brady John Danner, Spring 2020 graduate.
Nathaniel Timmons, Spring 2020 graduate.
Jake Siegel, Spring 2020 graduate.
Joseph Yang, Summer 2020 graduate.
Jesse Kreiter, Spring 2020 graduate.
Buena Lisa Santavi, Spring 2020 graduate.
Lauren Latham, Spring 2020 graduate.
Michelle Rita Putzi, Spring 2020 graduate.
Madison Kriege, Spring 2020 graduate.
Lauren Gillette Hoffman, Spring 2020 graduate.
Sarah Elizabeth Jones, Spring 2020 graduate.
Scott Vlasic, Fall 2020 graduate.
Lucas Cole McFerrin, Fall 2020 graduate.
Brent James Hauser, Fall 2020 graduate.
John Michael Hilst, Spring 2020 graduate.
Serena Renee Knudsen, Spring 2020 graduate.
Raina Marie Rabadon, Spring 2020 graduate.
Ashley Nicole Price,
Piper.
graduate.
Spring 2020 graduate.
Carlos Daniel Quintana Alvarez, Summer 2020 graduate.
Olivia Miller, Spring 2020 graduate.
Jamie Rott, Spring 2020 graduate.
Sarah Waddle, Spring 2020 graduate.
Sarah Eastland, Spring 2020 graduate.
Nicole Lau, Spring 2020 graduate.
Tori Jo Bennett, Spring 2020 graduate.
Kirsten Volpol, Spring 2020 graduate.
Kennedy Jane Massey, Spring 2020 graduate.
Zoe Elizabeth Torgerson, Spring 2020 graduate.
Isaias de la Torres, Fall 2020 graduate.
Cody Woodruff, Spring 2020 graduate.
Zachary Stryber, Spring 2020 graduate.
Joanna Watchell, Spring 2020 graduate.
Ashley Helpin, Spring 2020 graduate.
Joseph Crowley, Spring 2020 graduate.
Blake Danick, Summer 2020 graduate.
Taylor Ann Carter, Fall 2020 graduate.
Amanda Pryor, Spring 2020 graduate.
Shub Chauhan, Fall 2020 graduate.
Paige Allison Jewell, Spring 2020 graduate.
Maya Jasper Kirch, Spring 2020 graduate.
Brianna Cortez, Spring 2020 graduate.
Kara Clem, Spring 2020 graduate.
Kate Sosha, Summer 2020 graduate.
Jared John Larson, Summer 2020 graduate.
Nathan James Hoth, Spring 2020 graduate.
Emily Matz, Spring 2020 graduate.
Emerson Rachel Sears, Fall 2020 graduate.
Brittany Markhart, Fall 2020 graduate.
Arushi Sharma, Spring 2020 graduate.
Isabel Sophia Wild, Fall 2020 graduate.
Brodina Bushlow, Spring 2020 graduate.
Aiden McMinamy, Summer 2020 graduate.
Aaron Lawrence, Fall 2020 graduate.
Colby LaFrenz, Fall 2020 graduate.
Daniel A. Laracuenta Cortez, Fall 2020 graduate.
Kendra Spear, Fall 2020 graduate.
John David Young, Spring 2020 graduate.
Ryan Anthony Morton, Spring 2020 graduate.
Esteban Serenad, Spring 2020 graduate.
Caitlin Gallagher Diaz, Spring 2020 graduate.
Araceli Lopez Valdivia, Spring 2020 graduate.
Jamie Kramer, Fall 2020 graduate.
Vanessa Carrillo, Fall 2020 graduate.
Trent Skippers, Fall 2020 graduate.
Allison K. Gardner, Spring 2020 graduate.
Kelly Mulcrone, Spring 2020 graduate.
Savannah Minnick, Spring 2020 graduate.
Gabrielle Stevenson, Spring 2020 graduate.
Brooklyn Trinan, Spring 2020 graduate.
Tierney Ray Lynn, Fall 2020 graduate.
John Charles Barkley, Spring 2020 graduate.
Michael Ryan Asby, Spring 2020 graduate.
Ashley Nicole Campbell, Fall 2020 graduate.
Cassie Mayer, Spring 2020 graduate.
Connie Chang, Fall 2020 graduate.
Elena Fulton, Fall 2020 graduate.
Paige Nelson, Spring 2020 graduate.
Shannon Doty Olmedo, Spring 2020 graduate.
Callaway Kinney, Spring 2020 graduate.
Rabia Afzal, Fall 2020 graduate.
Tanya Daniele Nuno, Summer 2020 graduate.
Susanna Gudivada, Spring 2020 graduate.
Davis Van Egdom, Spring 2020 graduate.
Merwick Glenn D'Souza, Spring 2020 graduate.
Catherine Ann Bowerly, Fall 2020 graduate.
Adam Lewis McDermott, Fall 2020 graduate.
Sophia Camille Machado Catapia, May 2020 graduate.
Selena Alexandria Delp, Fall 2020 graduate.
Ankit Butts, Fall 2020 graduate.
Henry Underhill, Spring 2020 graduate.
Joseph Paul, Spring 2020 graduate.
Sydney Ray Scarballas, Summer 2020 graduate.
Anthony Sterling Wesley, Spring 2020 graduate.
Yudhishthira M. Utomo, Fall 2020 graduate.
On behalf of the entire university community, I extend my sincere congratulations to all of our graduates. We wish you the very best and look forward to hearing from you about all of your many accomplishments. Another round of applause for our graduates. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Jeffrey Johnson, Laura and Russ Talbot, Endowed President and CEO of the Iowa State University Alumni Association, to officially welcome you as alumni of Iowa State.
Greetings, alumni. You are now mine. On behalf of the staff and board directors of the Iowa State University Alumni Association, I welcome you back to campus as alumni of this great university. I speak to you today using a few words from one of my predecessors from 1935. You were students here for 2, 4, or more years, especially if you received multiple degrees from Iowa State University. You will, however, be alumni of Iowa State University for the rest of your life. No matter what you do or where you go, you will always be a member of this prestigious university family. And the university will always be interested in what you do, how you continue to innovate, and what you become. I implore you to remember that no university can ever become truly great without a large body of well-informed, closely knit alumni. Alumni are largely responsible for what you found when you came to Ames. They helped fund building projects. They invested in faculty and programs. They also invested in you through scholarships, study abroad opportunities, and internships. You and the alumni of the future will largely determine what your children, your grandchildren, and others will find when they matriculate to Iowa State. In order that you may keep in touch with the university as well as your college friends during the coming years, the Alumni Association invites you to join its ranks and become a regular reader of Visions magazine. This magazine should be viewed as our family newsletter, which will bring you news about fellow alumni, campus happenings, and engagement opportunities. Visions magazine is sent to every member of the Alumni Association 3 times per year. In order that you may share in alumni activities, just as you engaged in student activities and start enjoying the magazine and all of your other member benefits, our board is providing you a special discounted membership rate of $30 for the next 5 years. Please join us so that we may best serve you. And wherever you go, whatever you do, 10 or 30 years from now, remember that the Alumni Association is here to serve you and to help you get the most out of your college relationships. If you haven't connected with your local alumni club, go to our website, which is isualum.org, to get connected and involved. Cyclones truly are everywhere. Today, Iowa State alumni live in all 99 counties of Iowa, all 50 states and the territories, and more than 150 countries. If you have a change of address, be sure to let the association know in order that we may put you in touch with other alumni in your new community. If you wish to have access to the names and addresses of alumni anywhere at any time, as a member, you will have direct access to the online alumni directory. This is a key connector for you to learn of alumni who also work in the same profession as you or the company that now employs you. So with every good wish for your success, health, and happiness, I encourage the following from you. Please promise me that you will not throw my letters in the trash, that you will not delete my emails, ignore my text messages and tweets, hide when I come to your door, or hang up on me when I call. Let's get to know each other better as we become partners in helping you advance your careers, enhance your degrees, stay connected to your colleges, support your alma mater, and network with Cyclones everywhere. Congratulations, and again, go Cyclones, always.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. We are now nearing the conclusion of our university commencement ceremony. I again want to thank our commencement speaker, Charles Sukup. And now I want to offer my personal congratulations to all of today's graduates. We are extremely proud of you and all that you have accomplished. Your Iowa State University diploma is the culmination of rigorous coursework, hands-on learning, and life-changing experiences, both inside and outside the classroom. It is a symbol of both the university's excellence and your hard-earned academic achievement. Thank you for returning to campus for this momentous celebration, and thank you for making Iowa State an important part of your life and your adventure. Before we close today, we want to recognize the hard work of all those individuals who have supported graduates along their Iowa State journey, the faculty and staff, family members, and the many friends. I ask the graduates to please rise and find your family and friends in the audience and thank them for their support. Please rise. And now I ask the audience to please rise. Will the family and friends of these wonderful graduates show your pride for their achievements? And if everyone would remain standing, we will conclude our commencement ceremony. Thank you again for being part of this important and significant celebration. And now, with the singing of Bells of Iowa State by student vocalist Hope Metz, I pronounce the university commencement ceremony at a close.
Please join me in the singing of the Bells of Iowa State. You will find the music printed on the back of your commencement program.